We gave these nightstands an absolute glow up, so let's go over how we did this with a paint wash on the top of these stands. We sanded down the tops of the stands to raw wood before using Cathedral Taupe by Fusion Mineral Paint to create a paint wash. For the wash, I used 1 part paint to 2 parts water, and the amount of water that you use is based on how opaque you want the finish to be. More water equals less opaque. I personally like to do a higher ratio of water when I start my paint washes because you can always add more paint if you'd like it to be more opaque. You also want to make sure that you give this a good stir before you apply it to the wood. I like to wet down the top of my surface before I start applying the paint wash, and then you can use any paintbrush to apply the mixture onto the piece. I like to apply the paint wash in sections and then wipe back the excess wash so I can control how long it stays on the piece and to see if I'm liking the way that the wash is taking. For this project, I waited 30 minutes for it to start drying to decide if I wanted to add any additional coats. In this case, I did go in and do 1 more coat of the paint wash. And because we're watering down Fusion Mineral Paint, it means that we're cutting the durability of the paint in half, which is still amazing, but we will need to add another layer of protection to this piece. And that's why I applied 1 layer of Fusion's Tough Coat onto the top of this wash. Since this is also going to be a high traffic area, this is another great reason to add a tough coat. And this is great for light to mid-tone pieces because it is non-yellowing. I'm using one of the tough coat sponges for an easy application, making sure to have enough product absorbed evenly into the sponge so that when I apply it, I have a nice even finish. This does dry very quickly, so you want to avoid going back and forth over it. And here's the final look of how our paint wash is and the tough coat.